Hello, welcome to one of Studio Central's live art demos. We are here at Upbeat Artworks, a beautiful gallery of Artbeat artists. And so Artbeat artists are artists that have gone through our 6-month residency, which is for artists living with mental health challenges. So they get 6 months to focus on their art as well as their mental health. And then once they go through the program, they can sell their work here. We also have Studio Central across the way, where you can come in person, way over there. But for those that can't make it right now, we have these videos. So I'm Ollie. I always forget to introduce myself, and we'll have Kate leading. But since we have the opportunity to be at Upbeat, we're going to show off one of the artists. But this time it's not going to be one of the resident artists. It is going to be Joseph Koensken, I think is how you pronounce it, who has very talented artist who has donated some pieces for us for Art from the Heart. Some of the raffle were print prizes from him, and yeah, very talented artist. So we'll show off some of the things we have in the store, and then Kate will read his bio. This
Look at artist Joseph Koensken has been drawing and painting from a young age. Born in 1984, he has always been fascinated with and inspired by the world around him. It was this fascination with animals and inclination for art that meant that his subjects were mostly wildlife in nature. He enjoys nature and has always desired to learn more about his surroundings, with a hope that his appreciation for the natural world can be shared with others through his artwork. As he was growing up, he was often recognized by his peers as having a natural talent, and his work received many art awards in school. Being self-taught, he began to paint wildlife in natural settings in acrylics at the age of 15, studying the art of his favorite wildlife painters as he continued to develop his skill and technique. In 2008, he progressed into painting the nature scenes that he so skillfully creates today. His detailed and thoughtful scenes depict snapshots of nature, seeing the animal in its natural habitat as though the viewer has simply walked into a moment in time. He works hard to represent nature accurately, all while creating dynamic pieces of art, which reflect his desire to share the beauty of nature and a commitment to the conservation of wildlife. His creativity is inspired directly from nature, going outside with a camera to capture the images that he sees, which he then sketches and eventually brings to life in his paintings. In 2009, Joseph received the People's Choice Award at the very first showing of his work at the Manitoba Art Expo. In 2013, he was featured in an article, 30 Under 30, Young Artists Revolutionizing the World of Fine Art, in Art Business News magazine. He is a member of Artists for Conservation and has been selected to be a part of the Ducks Unlimited Canada National Art Portfolio in 2012, 14, 15, 16, 17, and receiving their highest award of Artist of the Year in 2019. 18.
How dare you?
18. His passion for conservation is evident in the organization he partners with, and his appreciation for the natural world is apparent with the care he takes in creating his paintings. This very beautiful writing is taken from the website. It's his personal website, and you can find a lot of the artwork we have in the store there. So everything we have here, the magnet, the photo magnet, the cards, we have 2 different ones. One is a Scarlet Tanager.
Yes.
And you can see this artwork
And
here.
it may look like a photo, and it was at one point a photo, but these
quite sure
are
it was a photo
art
at
pieces.
First, but then they appear to be
These
very
are
beautiful
drawn,
acrylic paintings.
Yes, painted.
Or it could be another kind of paint, I don't know, I just assume. And the sticker is right here.
Oh yes, I missed the sticker.
So we have the sticker.
If you have a lonely
This is the
laptop or
loom.
water bottle, pretty loom. Very talented artist. We're very grateful to have their support for us as well. But now that we've done that, we'll get into the art. A moment of inspiration.
I want to start with what we were doing last time. So what I did, I didn't like it. I covered it over a couple of times, repainted it. then the sky is not what I wanted. So I'm remaking that, and it does not give me the feel I want. So I just kept the palm simple for now because I don't know which direction I'm going to. But the sky will be repainted again. And if I have time today, I will work on that. But also inspired by beautiful wildlife artwork, I have a painting that I was working for some time, and I did not finish it because sometimes artwork demands more attention. I did not have that time and attention. So this is just a warbler. It's a male. It's taken from a website. The photographs, there were male and female. I chose the male for some reason, I don't know. And this is the original photograph. And it was one of the workshops, well, not workshops, classes. I was showing how to get the shape of, but I did not really work on the feathers, so they're just outlines for now, and this is what I'm willing to focus on today. So the feathers right here, these pieces were not worked on, and this piece of tail is not worked on. So this is something I'm going to focus. And also Tiffany here and Ollie can paint anything related to it. It could be feathers, could be birds, anything.
Yes, I found also this calendar that we keep at Studio Central, part of our inspiration in the library. So it has lots of songbirds for if you're stuck on what to paint.
There's so many beautiful
It
ones.
says 365, one for every day.
That's
Tons of birds to see.
amazing.
Yeah, and some of them you could really see the details on their feathers, which I think would be interesting to do.
So yeah, before I start painting, I just want to mention that art is based a lot on feeling. So we can feel confident and not do the right thing. Sometimes we feel really not into it and we still create well. So it's not always what we call the mood. It's not always the knowledge. It's not always the thinking. It's this actually the process that sometimes you just not get the right something, and it doesn't have to be the mood necessarily. So I cannot guarantee the result because I cannot actually precede how it will look like, because it's something I'm doing the very first time, and some painters do not come back to the paintings they had, they paint new ones, and each time it's a new discovery. So it's how much a person sees, but not too much. Because what happens if you see too much is you need to come back to not seeing it. Because otherwise you're getting stuck on something that distracts you from what you're doing. So sometimes I just need, okay, feathers. I'm not going there. I don't want myself to let myself go and work on anything else. Plus this, I actually want to sell this artwork. So this is something I have, but this part is going to be repainted, added to. So I did not work on that because I work on this first, and then I will go from there. As we see on this is not balanced yet because until I have the idea and what I want to add on here, I don't know. Sky, it doesn't have to be reflected, but it needs to cooperate with like the top part with bottom part. So usually until this stage, I do not connect these two together, so I paint them separately, and then I can add colors from here to here, and that's not obligatory for all artists. That depends on the idea you're getting, your style. So I cannot say I'm really proud of this because I'm not yet, but when it comes to adding something original to it, I need to put more thinking into that. I want to paint a person, which is also enough sometimes. I just want to paint a person. I don't need to overcomplicate it. I'm just painting something and it works out or not. So the art should not be too complicated for thinking. And a lot of detail I don't want to put thinking into because it would distract quite a bit. Right, so feathers are feathers, simple. And what do I need for here? I see white, I see gray. And that's basically it. A tiny bit of yellow, which I can add afterwards. So I can get a little squiggle. Zooming
cute birds.
Too many to pick from, eh? Spoiled for choice.
Hmm.
I think 365. There must be something to pick. Too much to pick.
So yeah, and you know, it might be really simple for some. I see browns in here too. So yes, I got brown, I got black, I got white. That's enough for me to mix the right shade. Or not the right shade. Idea of an artist is not always visible to the artist because it's what comes out. And it's not always something artist talks about. It's what we see right after.
Yeah.
Okay, is this something I want to use? Maybe? Yes. I do remember this conversation about describing the steps you're going through. I can be very descriptive, but for some things I cannot find the right wording. Not to forget that I can remember and forget things. I can remember the word and suddenly it just goes out of my head.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes the words just drop out of your brain.
Okay, that's something I can work with.
Such a hard time choosing. Okay. I need opinions. Should I do the house finch? This lovely picture with lots of flowers.
That's a good choice.
Or for some reason I like the brown and gray ones.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's so many colorful ones, but the ones that are drawing my attention are. I also really like the gray catbird.
Oh, that is cute.
It's
like a
so
boar.
cute and fluffy. There's
He's a
also
boar.
where is it? The tufted titmouse is adorable, but I don't think I want to keep that one.
I would not give any advice because when I choose something, I do not choose anything that is complicated for me
Yeah.
personally.
If I can make a decision, I love painting and I always like how it turns out. Or always. Usually. But if I can't make a decision, all of it is a nightmare.
It's by decision making, I might skip this step sometimes just to not make it hard.
I'm doing a printing program right now and we're doing etching.
Ooh, cool.
And I have to come up with an idea for like a kind of medium, really slightly big. I did a small etching, there's a slightly bigger one, and I just can't think of what I want to do. Or like decide on what I want to do. It's so hard. It's my task for this weekend.
Again, I'm not Joseph, and I cannot make it look like a very realistic.
Well, we all have our. I think everyone kind of has their both natural style and their natural way of doing things. Like, of course, practice and skill
Practice and
really
skill are essential.
are essential, but at the same time, I think I've found that I kind of have a certain way I like to do things that it just makes art enjoyable for me.
Mhm.
Where I love the detailed pieces, I love the realistic pieces, but I found out that like I enjoy art when I do it just a little messier and I don't have to worry about the details because I kind of struggle sometimes with those. So the small enjoying holding, don't worry about them.
As I was painting, I'm result oriented, but I did not start painting until I got. I had time, right?
Yes.
So I didn't have time. I was working and I had kids, and
Yeah.
all my life I had other things to do.
Mhm.
So I was drawing briefly, and I never paid enough attention to
Mhm.
actually learning techniques, and I didn't have people around who would show me things. So I'm self-taught in many things, just because I see it. I paint it the way I think. So development of the art of mine is a lot of it is Studio Central artists, Studio Central workshops. On the triple for Kennedy, and it didn't happen until 2011, 12, where I started doing that, because before I was not a painter. I did not have anything related to it in my life.
That's interesting.
I didn't even know about galleries existing in downtown, and I never paid attention to things like that.
That's interesting. I'm one of those people that's like, how long have you been painting? Like, how have I ever not been painting? Well, just painting specifically, but like creating art. So.
I always wanted to go somewhere to study that would give me the right skill, but in the city I grew up in, we had something, but it was more like making signs, and it was not an artist that I was thinking of. It was more an artist for just not even designing, but it was not the level I would think of.
Well, art is one of those things. I think there are a lot of self-taught artists out there, both because people are discouraged from taking it too seriously, unfortunately, and then also because it's one of those things that people get very passionate about. And if you're passionate about something, you do it regardless of, or like if you enjoy doing something, you do it.
Whether or not you feel good at it or not.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of the act of doing it that. You're not as focused. Of course, you're focused on the end goal, but it feels good enough, anyways. I think it is helpful if you start young, because you get a lot of praise when you're a kid and you do art.
I was praised.
Yeah.
But I would not say I really enjoyed what I was doing at school, because I was not doing anything I would be too proud of.
Swap the camera to the other side. Don't need to disrupt your
I can put
painting.
it on this side.
Yeah, this is a better view.
It's very easy to be descriptive when you have something practical going on, but I cannot be descriptive when it comes to, okay, there are 3 feathers. I have little yellow at the very tip. And I have little, okay, so we can place this yellow first, or yellow, sorry, it's white first. And then the third one is barely visible. And then I can make the feathers look like they're feathers.
Especially with like drawing from a reference, it isn't like a lot of painting is observing and kind of learning the structure and the way things are. Paint it more accurately.
And in my ability, I'm not accurate from this point of view yet, as I do not see myself as an accurate artist. Yeah.
Not every artist needs to be that. If that's
Yeah.
what you want.
I don't think it was ever in my nature to be super accurate.
No, like I said, I'm very much like I lean towards more of a
Impressionistic look.
yeah. I like to say my style's impressionistic.
For myself, it was always essential to enjoy what I do, and some people would actually enjoy being very detailed and everything. But I also cannot settle for a long time. I tend to, like at school, I was learning everything quickly, and I did not spend much time on sitting down and doing things like some other kids would do. And it's not that they're not doing it wrong and I was doing it right. It's not that. It's just it's character.
Yeah, everyone does things differently. Yeah, I can understand, like, I think for detail artists, because like when I sit down for a painting, if I get into it, like I won't stop. And slowly I'm getting better at adding more details, but
And we need to consider that again. It's years. How many years I was working with painting, something like that. Something like that. I was never painting birds. It's I started painting birds from abstract ones, and then I tried. And was it my first? I'm not sure if it. No, it wasn't the first bird I painted, but it was the first warbler. But it's not about being first or being second. It's just each time you paint with some time, with a couple years, and you can get more. You just see it more. You just feel. And I don't know, it's just how much time and attention I pay to things I would not think much about in a year or so. That's focus. Yeah.
for myself, I like that I can not think when I do art. I like doing from references because I can especially shut my brain off, even though it is like a lot of observing and theoretically there's thinking, but you also kind of just let your hand guide you.
Yeah, and I don't want to see this as a puzzle or what am I seeing here. Just see it looks like this. I made it look the way I see it. If someone figured it out better than me, okay, good. But I do not say can see everything, and it's not my goal even. And if you noticed, I also do things differently each time. I don't paint exact same way. Maybe from the point of view of the brush stroke. But I don't keep the same exact technique as something as I visualize as mine. I don't say it's mine. I'm just going through the stage of painting this way, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to paint like this in the future. Exact same way.
You adapt it to what you're doing.
Yeah.
it's definitely a bird. Just maybe not this bird.
It's inspiration, not a reference.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm not a pizza person.
I decided to do a quick
That's a good idea.
I'm drawing ink on now.
I was thinking like originally I was gonna just do a feather before I found a bird book. But just I don't know what to do with that.
It was the only thing I could think of, was just a feather.
Sorry, I didn't even think of that.
It didn't come to me until after I'd started doing the feather. So just worked that way.
I mean also I think it would be nice to just have a feather too.
So this website I took the photo from, it has the sounds of birds as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you click on it, you can hear the sound of birds.
So what does your bird sound like?
Like a bird. I have no idea how to describe birds chirping. Just birds.
That's fair. Probably what I was expecting as an answer.
I like keeping painting as a mindless process because when I start paying attention to things and start calling them, it just, I don't know, it just gets, I get out of the like actually painting and I just talk. I don't do anything. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit much, but I feel like I'm a very practical person. So if there is no practical component, I would not feel need in actually discussing it.
Yeah. Okay, it's 1:30 now, so.
You know, we can actually, I don't know if we have to, we can wrap up earlier.
Yeah, I actually don't think that's a bad idea because my phone battery's a little low today.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I guess it's good that we all seem to be wrapping up then.
So what I want to mention is that I did not manage to get out yesterday in the evening, and we had a show at Artby that is happening. So Monday, I'm hoping I can make it because my son has his graduation ceremony, and then after that, I'm planning to go to Artby. But am I actually making it or not? I will see by the time I'm not there.
but it's a beautiful show.
It is,
It's
it's
one of our
wonderful.
biannuals. So you can see it Monday to Thursday this time, noon to 5 p.m. at 62 Albert Street on the 4th floor, which is where Art Beat is located. So it shows off the work from the latest residency group. But also, if you can't make it in person, I just published the website this morning. So you can see not every piece, but you can see lots of the pieces, and then you're also able to purchase some of the work on it as well.
So the website you're talking about is the
It's not
upbeatartworks.com?
the upbeat
No?
one. We have a separate one. The link is a little longer. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to our Instagram, which is at our Beat Studio, you can find it there.
All right, so yeah, go check on our website and our Facebook.
Yeah.
That's where you can find it, right?
I think our Facebook is at Art Beat Studio 1.
Mm.
We don't have the Art Beat one. Just look up Art Beat, it'll probably come up.
Yeah, and I'm planning to work on the warbler, and also if I'm successful, that will go for sale. Again, I don't know. There are not too many artists that can actually say, I know it will be. Because I consider I might not come up with the best idea of how to paint the surroundings, and I might not like it. I might put it aside for another year or something.
all up to
Until I
you.
find it.
It's all up to you.
A tiny bit of yellow right here. This part I would actually skip this whole thing right here. This is one line. So that's where it starts. It's a little shorter than I painted it. Just making it tiny bit shorter. So each of these segments, I have no other solution as to just look at the photograph. But here is more or less of how segments go. And on this side, I simplified it definitely, so I did not make these lines too close to each other. So I might add line in between here, line in between there. But I will not make it too detailed. Something like that. Yeah. Do I have a better solution? Maybe not. Just keep putting white in between, so I have the light. And you know, sometimes artist solution is completely do not follow anything you see here, and that's great art sometimes.
The rules are made to be broken.
I got tired of trying to draw the cherry blossoms in this photo, and I said, blobs will do.
But they're beautiful blobs.
Right?
Yes.
Never seen a prettier blob in my life.
Do I like what I see? No. I don't yet.
Sometimes there are paintings where you just have to keep poking and keep prodding and eventually reach where it's meant to be. Will not move on.
No, before giving advice, we need to make sure the person thinks the same way as us, maybe, because a lot of times I was talking about something, it's not, I don't know, it's not really made for explanation, and I was trying to explain that, because I know there are certain terminology, like some words for that, but also with my thinking, I get too many things that I consider that another person would not. So it's really hard for me to explain things, so I'm just going with the simple. Here, a segment, a segment. Name of the bird, what do I put here? Most likely, what's typical to see around the bird?
And sometimes when that's not doing it, you can also add something fun. Give the bird a little hat.
I'm not this type of a thinker. If I think my thinking would go in a different direction. So I would leave the bird directly the way it is, but I would remodel. And I know Picasso is a great example of how there are several artworks that you can tell there is lots of attention paid, but there are things people see and they want to express it, and there are different ways of expressing things, and some of them are just new to people. So we don't want condemnation where it does not belong, and it does not belong anywhere, basically.
Certainly not in art.
Unless a person is asking, do not say anything good about my art piece, please. So but I'm not this person. I do not like being condemned for what I do.
You don't need to be.
No, I just stop. Like my painting does not go the right way. I do not feel inspired. I don't need to feel inspired sometimes. It's not called being inspired, but it just, I want to start in a good mood, and I don't want my expectations to exceed my abilities to. Which usually exceeds it a little tiny bit, but not significantly.
Well, that's what drives you to always work on new things, right?
Mm-hmm. There are things that I want to add, but adding little by little helps. Oh. I didn't have any food to eat.
Oh no, and that's why. You need to grab something for this for sure.
Just came back from the training, and I actually wanted to stop by Tim Hortons and buy myself a good bigger belt, which you usually need. This is my preference.
I also need to eat it. Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Things that never happen. I'm usually not hungry at this time. I don't like eating in the morning, and I eat when I come back home.
Everyone has their different bodily
Processes.
schedules.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not good at eating in the morning either.
oh, I have to eat in the morning. I eat the most in the morning.
And some people are like that. Yeah, it's just a little bit different. think we're making pretty good time. Okay, so I sorted this out a little bit for myself. Now I need to sort it out for everyone else. You can see what I mean.
Oh no. Cleaning the brush and the ferrule just pops off. Little bit of glue, I think.
Sometimes the task is not to repeat what you see, not sometimes, but always, but to make it look good. It's always like that. So it doesn't have to be what I see there, but I just want it to look good. So look at it and I actually enjoy it. And how can I explain why I enjoy it? I cannot. Just looks good, that's it. I'm not this person who picks on words or picks on what people do, because things are different and it doesn't have to be. I never say you have to copy.
Yeah. There's not one right way to do it.
It's art. Plus, words lose their meanings, and lines is just. I go with general impression. It just looks good to me. It might not look good to someone, but most likely it looks good to everyone. So. As talking about words, I can just feel that words do not mean what they mean sometimes, and I can use words for what a person's saying with completely different meaning.
Mostly about art is sometimes you don't need words.
Yeah.
Check on everyone's work. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. Right.
Oh,
I love the colors. Thank you. There we go. Get a closer look. There. Wow, that is very impressive. It somehow looks more lifelike than the photograph.
okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, that gold is pretty.
I love the gold.
Wow,
It's like
that's
the feathers
really nice.
glowing.
Yeah, that's very nice and shiny.
I love sparkly stuff.
Very cool.
You might have gathered by my sparkly.
And then here's my little, what was it?
House finch?
Gray catbird is the one I did.
You did the board.
Oh, it's so cute.
It is adorable. I love the cherry blossoms. They're very impressionistic. They're
Yes. I was gonna do them more realistic and follow along, but I was like, no, I cannot do it this way. So, a bit more of the impression of cherry blossoms.
perfect. And mine is just mildly related to birds.
The theme was birds and feathers.
Yeah, so
Feathers.
it works.
I'm glad actually someone did a feather because I was hoping we'd have like the different views of feathers, but then I got too entranced by the birds to not paint a bird.
So pretty.
Right? So do you want to end it there, Kate?
Yes, I'm just going to mention that I defined it when I was drawing it. I did not define it the right way, so this feather was shifted. I'm just
Okay.
moving it a little bit to the bottom,
Okay.
and then for here, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Going to work until it feels good.
Well, we will see everyone, I believe, next week.
Bye.
Next week.